Hello and welcome to the Roughneck Minute, a Movies by Minute podcast where we go over the movie Starship Troopers 1 minute at a time. I'm one of your hosts, Matthew.
And I'm your other host, Johann.
And joining us once again for minute 92 this Friday, host of Unlimited Lives Radio and the Fifth Eleminute, John Robert Wilson.
Yay!
Hey guys, thanks for having me back.
Well guys, as I said before, we're at minute 92. This minute begins with a warrior bug chomping down on a strut and ends with Rico telling Razchek that the boat is coming down. So we were off mic when we were talking about this, but we at the very beginning of this minute we see this warrior bug chomping down on the strut trying to do something, trying to cause damage or something to it. And I noticed that with near the warrior's very, very end of the mandibles, they have teeth, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Neither did I, and it's like, now that I see it, it unnerves me. Like, these got a lot more creepier.
Yeah, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
It's like the arrow in the FedEx logo.
Yeah, and like, it unnerves me kind of like how you would see a octopus's beak. Like, you usually don't see it. It's like, it's pretty much hidden most of the time, but once you see it, it's
for
like
something
creepy.
That's made out of jelly. You don't expect it to have like a parrot underneath there.
I've never liked octopus except to eat because they're kind of rubbery and delicious.
Yeah.
Oh man, we this as a side, me and Crystal went to Panama City and had octopus there, and they shaved it super thin, and it didn't taste rubbery at all. It tasted like carpaccio.
Ooh. That sounds
delicious.
yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like it here that they have, what's it called, like the poke bowls? And there's one by me that they have octopus that you can put inside. It's so delicious.
Yeah. Well, let's continue on with the minute then. So yeah, we see the creepy bugs now. One of them actually starts attacking the strut again and tosses it down to crush another bug.
Yeah, they don't care.
No, they don't care at all.
They
I kind of
care.
saw this as a little bit funny too. Like I laughed in the theater when I saw this. I was like, they're dumb.
Yeah, bugs, hive mind. Don't even think about themselves at all. There's no self-preservation. Only the undying will of the swarm.
For the queen, for the colony. But Johnny runs to the communication set. Looks like Diz has actually got a hold of the battle group. She's actually gotten a hold of the Roger Young.
Yeah.
Funny that, because we know who... Wait, who's piloting that ship?
No, jeez.
Johann, who's piloting that ship? I don't know. I mean, is there anyone else in this movie?
There's a guy pilot, I know that.
Oh, okay, well, we'll probably see him again anyway.
Yeah, I think he was the only one there.
Thank God. So Rico gets on the comms. He tells
He
them
yanks
that,
it from Diz's hand. He's like,
yeah, mine.
Which is understandable. This is a stressful situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He tells them that we need retrieval now, and that they need to get out of there really quick because this place crawls. You know, it's like, Planet P, we heard that place was clear. And he's like, nope, this place crawls.
This place crawls, sir.
Place crawls.
See, that's one of the things that was a little bit different in the script, because they say that Orion P11 as clear, which I guess is the area that includes this planet. But instead of saying no, sir, the script says, shut up, sir. We need pickup now.
Wow.
He's like, shut up, sir. Like, there's a comma. It's like it's such a backhanded way to be polite and formal. So, yeah, that's just different. But everything else seems to be the same in the script.
Even his ending line when he suggests that the pilot come down and land in the middle of the base.
Yeah, it's the same. There's only a few things that are different, saying use or try and communicate in all bands, keep the line open, I guess so they can find the signal, so they can track the signal of where they need to go. But otherwise, like that line is still there. Unfortunately.
So I was wondering too, like we were discussing this earlier in the couple minutes when they were getting to the outpost, what kind of communications are they using? Because I don't think they're using regular radio. And like even when Dizzy's messing around with the communications, she's not using like a regular dial or anything. She's just pressing buttons. So
is it like a satellite uplink or something?
That's what I'm thinking, but it sounds scratchy and garbled, like there's still interference, kind of like a terrestrial radio. So I have no clue.
New technology,
I suppose. And also, like, because one of the guy who initially gets killed by the Hopper, Gillespie, he is all like, oh, there's bad communication. And then Razchika's all like, well, you need to get higher ground. Like, that doesn't kind of make sense if you're using a satellite. You just need a clear view of the sky. And then he goes up 12 feet, basically, and is all like, oh, maybe I'll get a better... Yeah.
And he's still in the canyon. Like, it didn't make any sense.
That's not going to help. So, but I have no clue what they're using. But yeah, so he says, you know, when you come down right here on this
on the side of the transmission.
Yes, and he's like, well, you know, that's crazy. And what does he say, JR?
Well, I hope you have a crazy pilot. Out. You know what? In his mind, you know, because this is probably of age that he grew up with The Empire Strikes Back, right? And remember when Han goes back out into the cold to look for Luke, and he's like, but the temperature's dropping like crazy, so your tauntaun will freeze before you get back. And then he goes, well, I'll see you in hell. Yeah! So it's almost as if he wanted to, you know, be the Han Solo of this movie and give that iconic line, but he delivers it in such a dry, quick way that he's like, oh, come on, you might as well just be reading that off of a teleprompter.
Yeah, I think Ed Neumeyer, when writing this, he was like, oh, this is going to sound so cool. This is going to sound amazing. And then Casper Van Dien is like, better have a crazy pilot.
Yeah.
Better have a crazy pilot.
I hope you do. Gosh, I hope you do.
It's like when you're trying to ask out a girl it's in the 6th grade. Hey, when do I go to dance with you? No, okay, goodbye.
I mean, that's kind of how I asked my wife to marry me too. We were at dinner and I was like, because I had this whole entire thing because it was our like 2-year anniversary. I mean, I've known her for like 3 years, but we were dating for 2. And then I asked her, like, you remember how I was saying that I was going to renew the lease of you because leases usually last 2 years? I said, how about I buy it instead? And so instead I was like, hey, honey, you remember lease? How about I buy? Yeah. And she was like, what? And I was like, here's the ring.
Take it. I hope you have a crazy pilot.
Will you marry me? Yeah, you.
Mine
you think
wasn't.
It sounds so cool.
Yeah, mine when I was married, mine wasn't any better. I think I was trying to do the cool thing of getting the whole moment caught in a photo booth.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just me holding the ring, and you don't get to hear anything, obviously. But it was just me going, eh? Just like showing it, and I couldn't get the words out or anything like that, so it was pretty bad as well.
And I know that face that you make when you say eh, because your eyebrows get bigger, they go up a little bit, your face gets a little slack, and you're just like, eh?
Yeah, it was pretty dumb looking, and that part is caught on the photo.
Well, it's better than my stepdad's asking my mom to marry him because he was just like, how about it? And she was like, how about what?
Yo, Doreen, how about it?
How about what, you big mooch?
Yo, how about you and me? We getting married.
Bye, okay.
I could use a tax rebate.
Oh, you're only
Matthew,
gonna
are your
do it
parents-
this. You're only gonna do it this way. No wine and dine. Mine was pretty bad because like I just went eh, and then she said thanks.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Where'd you get this from? A Cracker Jack box?
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah, she's like thanks, and I was like,
Thank you.
is that a yes?
I love you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Ouch.
I know.
But they did get married.
Yeah, and then we got divorced.
So, lesson learned.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So the next scene of the movie, we see, again, insurmountable odds compared to the Roughnecks and the Bugs. The Bugs basically have their dead and wounded piled up against the wall, and the live ones are still trying to climb their comrades to get to the Roughnecks.
And they are right there. I mean, they could kiss them. They're so close now.
Oh, yeah. They could.
And they're opening up the shots, too, to illustrate that there's still more and more and more bugs coming in. And there's just an ungodly amount of insects around them now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this part
it's
this part is actually in the script where he's saying that the other bugs are climbing on top of the dead corpses to get to the troopers. This is like something that was actually they did this in World War Z. Remember, like all the zombies start piling up, except that movie isn't as good as Starship Troopers.
No. I was thinking more about the book where at the very end, instead of the normal kind of where they do the reinforced square and the zombies are just piling up.
Yeah. But that one was different because they were just creating kind of like a barricade for themselves, like a zombie barricade, and they were cresting over. Whereas this one, the bodies are being used to climb over a wall.
Yeah.
That was such a cool part in the book.
Did you ever read that book, JR?
World War Z?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I did. It was like a series of interviews, right? Nothing like the movie.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
My favorite part was when the pilot was like caught in a tree and she had like a voice on a radio communicating with her.
Oh, yeah.
What's crazy is that happened in southern Louisiana. So it's like the place where she described where she was going. Like I was like, I've driven on that highway before that they're describing. So it was awesome. And also the chapter when they're in the submarine, they're talking about the hordes of zombies that end up at the bottom of the ocean, and they have to kind of keep tags on them because there's no real effective way to get rid of them, all of them, so they just track them, and if they come up, then they kill them.
Yeah.
Really, really
and how
good
like
stuff.
they don't like decompose as fast as on land. They're just there.
Yeah, and that's why you don't go near open water anymore. And you guys were talking about sort of how the military, instead of having to fight other militaries, they adapted to fight zombies. So instead of like camouflage, they just wore blue jumpsuits. Instead of like M4s, they had AK-47s, and they were just trained to just pop zombies in the head, and then they even had like they even went into detail in the system that described when they would relieve each other. They would take like hardcore real-time statistical analysis of how many headshots each soldier was getting on the line, or I guess I would call it like a square phalanx sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And then they would just like tap them on the shoulder, like, okay, go rest for 20 minutes, and the guy right behind you with his AK will, take your place. And they said they would just like keep on shooting until the zombies would stop coming, and they would say they would just pile them higher and higher and higher. Mm-hmm. Such a good book. It's definitely worth the read. It's a fast read too, so you should definitely check the book out.
Yeah, and if you guys don't want to read it, check out the audiobook. The first audiobook is just part of it, but the second one has the rest of the stories in it as well too. So if you can't read like I can at work, I drive most of the time, I listen to that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's one of the best audiobooks I've ever heard because it had a full cast instead of one person trying to do voices for each particular character. I'm not saying that it's not good that they do that where they try and change it, but it's just having an entire voice cast really makes it a much better listen for audiobooks going.
Especially because you have Mark Hamill as one of the characters as well too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And what's his name? Black Flag singer Henry Rollins.
Which one is he?
The mercenary, the one in Long Island.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't recognize his voice at that point.
Yeah, he's that part was just so cool. Like,
yeah,
that whole story. Well, the whole book is good, so it's just worth worth reading the book, and it's also worth listening to the audiobook.
Yeah, the movie should have been, as I've been saying this for the longest time, ever since the rumor of the movie was going to come out, they should have done a HBO series or like a 10-part series or something like that for that instead, because it would have been a lot better.
Well, the movie went through, I think, 6 different scripts before it even came out, because I went to a panel with Max Brooks, and he was talking about there was an initial script that he had, and he said it was fantastic and it was true to the book, and then it got changed, and then he didn't even know what it was going to be, and he's just like, from what my dad says, I don't think this is even like, this is what I'm supposed to expect, and maybe the final product isn't going to be anywhere near the book if this is what happened.
Man, if only he tried to make it a little bit later so he can use Kickstarter or something like that. It wouldn't have been done.
That is true.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But
like, it's gone now, unfortunately. They can't really use it.
No, the movie could have gone with a completely different name, and it would have saved face of the book. Because it had nothing to do with it. Yeah. Like Brad Z or something like that, because it was...
Brad Z.
But
I like that.
But in that panel, he mentions why they went with the audiobook. It's because he's dyslexic.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, so when he was growing up, his mom used to go to places and get all these other actors to just do an audiobook of his school books or books that he needed to read, but he had problems. And audiobooks weren't a thing, so she used to do this for him. So he has a thing for audiobooks because it helps people to have dyslexia.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that, yeah.
So that's the reason why he really wanted to do this, the audiobook. And since he already knew most of those actors, it was really easy to gather everybody up. And he said the biggest grab was Mark Hamill.
Yeah, it would have been for me too.
Yeah. Such a good voice actor. I love it when he does, goes to Comic-Con panels and does, the Joker voice quoting different stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I liked it when he was reading 50 Shades of Grey with that voice. That and the Gilbert Godfrey 50 Shades of Grey too.
Yeah.
Those two are the best. But we get, they've finally gotten high enough, the warriors have finally gotten high enough to get over the wall. One does, but gets shot down really quick before another one comes up. Razchek kind of notices that his rifle is running a little bit low, and so he lets Ace take his place. But before that, before he reloads, he takes a look out at the mass amount of bugs coming his way.
So many.
Yeah, but at 43, right after that bug comes over and they shoot it down, you see the 2 legs starting to come up. And just that moment in every horror film where you're like, turn around, it's right behind you.
Yeah.
And there it is.
But yeah, and but Razchek, I mean, he goes to try to fire, but he pulls his weapon up, and we see all the bugs as well too. They just keep coming.
Yeah,
keep coming.
Yeah, he just realizes a couple bullets isn't going to do anything at this point. And
Nothing, yeah.
And he saves his ammo. He's just like, it's not going to do anything.
This has turned into a reverse, Tango Urilla, where instead of them surrounding the bugs and, getting them in a nice little pile, it's turned around that the bugs are trying to get them in a nice little pile.
Yeah.
And he's realizing this too.
Yeah, this is the strategy that he used. Now he's seeing it used against him. So I think that's they pinned him down so they had nowhere to go and they were being surrounded by all ends. And that was kind of like the formation they had before the tanker showed up. And this one, it's like, oh, I know exactly what this position is going to be like, and we're screwed.
Yeah, he knows that that he really doesn't have. Even with all the ammo that he could probably have, he'd still get overrun.
Yeah, but he still has that sneer on his face, and then he wipes his nose and upper lip with the metal hand, which is so badass.
It really is.
Yeah.
And then he hears Rico tell him that boat's coming down.
Boat's coming down, sir.
But that's really where our minute ends. Right when Razchek is about to tell his trooper something. But, Rico just tells him, hey, boat's coming down. So, guys, do you have anything else that you want to say about this particular minute?
No, I just caught myself silently watching it over and over again. Because so much is happening that with the bugs coming over the line and all the shooting, and it's a bunch of quick cuts, so it's just like, yeah, it's just one of these minutes that you just have to watch really closely because there's so much stuff happening.
So it's like this scene is like stock footage of like a music festival or something like that. You know, they have people just wandering around, but they do it with all the bugs, which is kind of cool because the bugs are looking at each other like, hey, like, what's up with you? Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. You know, it's like they're having their own little chit chats, but it's just that it seems like in this scene, instead of having all the bugs just kind of drive in lines, they all seem to have their separate AI, which I think is really rad that they added to this.
Yeah, actually, I noticed at the very, very bottom right, there's one that's shaking its head.
Yeah.
Like he's just going all over. There's a couple up in the, like, have their mouths up in the air.
Yeah, if you look at some of the ones in the middle that really don't have anywhere to go, they all kind of revert to like a mill around and do random movements sort of mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are we doing, guys? Are we killing? We killing humans? I don't see any humans. Oh, you telling me we're killing still? Okay.
I showed up late. What's the objective?
Dude, come on, Bill. We're killing humans.
Oh, do we gotta?
I mean, the Queen says so.
I thought today was a chill day.
No, they came here. We gotta kill them.
We're worker drones, and there's no such thing as a chill day.
Oh man, I have the biggest hangover, and you're telling me I gotta climb that wall?
Yep. Sorry, dude. I mean, well, look at it this way. You're probably gonna die anyway.
I guess. Hey, how's Bill doing? Oh, he's at the bottom of that pile that I gotta climb. Man, he owed me $5.
Sweet release.
He owed me 5 bug money.
Yeah.
What is the exchange rate from bug money to Federation credits?
Oh, we have a ban. We have, since we're at war. There's a money ban.
Oh, okay.
There's a bug monies. How much do you earn? I make 5 bug monies a week.
Bastard! I only make $2.50.
Well, you got to put in that time, you know, when you're about to die today because you were bored last week.
Yeah, and bug money's like not paper; it's just like jars of viscous gel.
It's like royal jelly or something.
Oh, we did kind of establish that there is a point where they do create that viscosity because the worker bugs digest the humans. Actually, it was in the script. It's not revealed in the movie. So I think that's how they actually feed. So maybe that is how they get their viscous, and that's the bug monies.
There we go.
So, yeah. So everything comes around.
Motivation explained and established.
Yep. Yeah. So that's why they're going through the planets. They're trying to make more bug monies.
Humans are basically their gold.
Yeah, or oil.
Yeah. But that's really where the minute ends, guys. Do you have anything else you want to say about this particular minute, Johann?
No, we did a really deep dive on the cultural aspects of the bugs. I mean, where else can you get that, right?
That's right. Not like anything else on the internet. John Robert, what about you?
Other than going deep into their crazy bug religion, I have nothing else to mention. But thanks for having me. It's been a fun week.
Yeah, if you really want to get into the bug religion, I mean, we should just watch Starship Troopers 3.
Right.
Oh, God.
It's not as bad as 2.
Yeah, but I couldn't spend a minute by minute in that movie.
No. We've already discussed this, that we're not going to do that movie minute by minute, and we've allowed any of our listeners or anyone else on the internet to take Starship Troopers 2 or 3.
Yeah. We actually had the discussion to do 2 and 3 as kind of a riff tracks type of thing, because there's no way we can just run through or do minute by minute. We'd have to go through them, the whole thing. And even that's going to be pretty hard.
All right. Well, guys, Johann, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitch and Instagram at JDASHD26. You can find me on Twitter at OMG It's Johann.
And Mr. John Robert, where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at John Robert Wilso, and I'm on a bunch of other podcasts, The Fifth Eleminute, Unlimited Lives, and I'm a guest on Mission to Zyxx, all on iTunes, ZYXX.
Once again, thank you so much for coming with us this week on this crazy journey of bug hunting and bug killing.
I love this movie, so I wouldn't miss it.
Heck yeah, man. You guys can find me at AltTabMatt on the internet, pretty much anywhere on the internet, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, what have you. But you guys can also follow the show itself on Twitter at The Roughneck Min, M-I-N. You can go to our Facebook group, The Roughneck Minute Billet, to continue the conversation and talk about milling around bugs and what they're actually saying and how much bug money you have. You can also go to our website, theroughneckminute.podbean.com, for any past episodes show notes. And go ahead and please like, subscribe, rate, review us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or any other podcatcher you guys may have. Once again, JR, thank you so much for being on here. But I've been one of your hosts, Matthew.
And I've been your other host, Johann.
And I've been the guest, John Robert Wilson.
And we will see you on the Bounce Troopers.
My lovers, Toucan Sam, Toucan Sam, Toucan Sam. My lovers, Toucan Sam, I love him so. My lovers, Toucan Sam, Toucan Sam, Toucan Sam. My lovers, Toucan Sam. He left me years ago.
That is going at the very end of the episode. I absolutely love that. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Okay, I'll just pick up. What was I saying? Oh, yeah.
I hope when they talk to us about their bug money, it's not viscous gel made from other humans. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Some guy's like, I have 4.